moment in your life, in your business, when you realize that you're not practicing what you're preaching, where you're not doing as you're saying, meaning you're not doing what you tell your company, your clients to do. In our case, we preach to restaurants on telling their story, small businesses on telling your story. Are you letting the customers know the entire breadth of what you do? And it came to the realization a few months ago that we were doing exactly this. And so over the past 6 months, I've been working on changing our dashboard for our clients so we could show them the entire picture of what we do, why we do it, how we do it, because we become judged off of one metric. And I'm going to walk you through detailed on this. One metric alone being sales. And I kind of created this monster myself because when I started this journey back in 2008 to help small businesses get a bang for their buck on their marketing, to make better decisions, to get results they weren't getting. By 2015, we had changed and we were helping restaurants. And that started off with, hey, we're going to show you how you can't deposit likes, was the old saying, how you can deposit likes, how you can actually take that social media engagement, that online marketing, how you can take that in-store marketing and turn it into a database, because in my mind, a database is gold. But then it came about, clients started saying, okay, Matt, I don't believe that this database is gold. Prove to me that this database is actually doing what we need to do, spend money. So then we did that. And long story short, here we are, 2020, thousands of restaurants worldwide running our program, our ideas, our concepts, 2 books published, thousands of videos, speeches around the country. And I realized, wow, we're not doing our own company justice. So I want to walk through a few things. And I was making this video mainly for our clients because I think a lot of our clients see some of the things we do and a lot of them don't. And there's 3 main things that we do. 3 main goals of everything we do when it comes to marketing for our clients. Number 1 is helping them find new customers. Number 2 is helping them find repeat customers. Number 3 is helping them get higher check averages through a lot of different means. There's one key element that this revolves completely around, and that is your current customers. So that's where we've always talked about how to build an audience, how to build up a database and how to create your own radio station that you own, that you can use when you want, how you want, as often as you want. Well, what that led to was me thinking about what we actually do for our clients. And I had a conversation with a client recently who wanted to understand the benefits of working with us because he saw a few things, but he didn't see all of it. And that's what really got us to changing the dashboard I'm going to show you in a minute. Because what happens is we get judged solely, and it's my own fault, by the item in the middle, the sales. That's what we get judged by on a major point because people see, hey, you did marketing. The marketing led to this database. The database led to the sales. So guess what? The sales is all I'm thinking about. So I want to take this time to walk you through these elements and then show you how these are related on our dashboard. And the only thing that's not related on our dashboard yet is showing the nurture stats, the last element, which is going to be huge when we get it. But let's talk about this. So number 1, the number 1 aspect of all advertising is attention. If you're buying radio advertising for your company, TV advertising, print advertising, billboards, the goal is to get attention, is to get in front of your ideal clients, to get in front of your current clients so that they do more business with you. Well, up until social media, that was about all you had. Up until a handful of years ago, that was all you had to hold on to. And even when social media came about, that was all you had. But when Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all these social media platforms popped up, now you had the ability to see the attention, to understand the likes, the shares, the views, the engagements, the impressions, the organic reach you got, the paid reach you got. You got to see all of that. And so now you can say, okay, I'm actually seeing what I'm paying for. And of course, in the good old American way, nothing's ever good enough for all of us. We've got to see more than what we can see, because if we couldn't see something before and now we can see a little, we want to see it all. But when I look at what we do for restaurants, we do a lot of really cool stuff. Number 1, we're taking money they already should be spending on marketing, and we're using it a lot better because that's what we specialize in. Like a restaurant that makes pizza, They can make a heck of a lot better pizza than Matt Platt can make a pizza. So I would much rather pay them to make me a pizza that I'm going to enjoy. Just like a restaurant should pay an expert to do their taxes, do their legal, to do their marketing. So we're able to get our clients amazing attention for their brand. And that amazing attention goes even deeper when I get into a minute, but we're also able to get them a huge increase on their organic reach. And we're able to do a lot of great things there. Number two, we take all of our attention we gain and we grow it into a database, meaning we gain the customer's info, their email, their cell phone number, their messenger subscription, and the ability to retarget them on social media, which is a key element. The next part is sales. Yes, we get people trackable sales within the sales funnels we create via email, Facebook Messenger, and texting. Now, I've always told my clients the goal of these sales are to recoup our investment on the advertising each month, because the value, what you're paying my company for, isn't to get you sales right now. It's to get you high value attention that leads to a huge database that allows you to find more customer data, that allows you to have more meaningful conversations in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. But guess what? Everybody looks at the sales and they say, how much money has been spent by the people walking into our restaurant? We spent $1,000 last month. Matt, only 2,000 came in. We need to cancel the program. Okay, well, you're only judging it on one item. My fault. Let's talk about the big picture. Customer data. This is huge because what most people don't have is information on their customers. They might have an email address if they're lucky. Very rarely do they have a cell phone. Almost more rare than that do they have Messenger. And even more rare than that, do they actually know how to have meaningful retargeting, which goes back to the database. But if you look at the customer data, the things we're helping our clients get from these sales is the birthday, is the gender, is the visit frequency, get them to leave a review, get the negative review privately, dining time. Do they come at lunch or dinner or breakfast or late night? Are they married? Do they have kids? Do they live or work near the restaurant? That type of stuff. You also visit frequency. Are they a good customer, a lost customer, a new customer? Last but not least, this is the most important part because this is where it kind of starts and finishes. You get your attention. Well, you can keep paying for attention on the front end if you want to, or you can pay for attention, go through this life cycle and have the ability to nurture. And when I say create your own radio station, meaning you have the ability to have conversations down the road with your customers in many means: email, text, messenger, and retargeting, the main ones we talk about. So now that I've got that out of the way, those are the items we do for clients. Our program, and this is where I've got to evaluate our dashboard. This is our new dashboard. And this is a live client's dashboard. This client has been live, I want to say, for 6.5 weeks in our program. This is a one location casual dining restaurant. I removed the name. It's their information. I don't want to look at all their stuff. And as marketers do, hack away if you can see the quotation marks there. But we've created a dashboard to show, and this is kind of on my own thing. One of my team the other day said, well, Matt, if we're trying to show more value than trackable sales, why are trackable sales in the top left? But, well, maybe they should be on the bottom right. I don't know. But I want to walk you through our dashboard. And there's 5 things that this dashboard has. Number one, it has a summary page of what you're looking at. Then we have a sales page, a database page, an awareness page, and a breakdown page. And it's a brand new add to this program in the last week. I'll show you what it is. So number one, when you look at this, as I talked about earlier, our goal is to help our clients get attention with marketing. So if you look at this right here, the main indicators, this shows how much the client has spent via their advertising and via what they pay our company. Now, the only unfair thing here is, we need to get this changed eventually, is that this is based off of our entire month spend. So this has 2 months spend, even though they're only a month and a half in. So they're actually probably closer to $1,200 there. But regardless, all businesses spend money on marketing. The question is, what are you getting for that spend? So in this case, this client spent $1,916.69. They got over here is what they would have traditionally bought with marketing. Now, the difference, if they were buying radio, and actually a conversation with a client about a month ago who does buy a lot of radio, and they don't know any of the metrics, and they also can't optimize it. But if you look at this $1,900 was spent to gain a reach of 63,000 people, which got us 67,000 impressions, which in turn got us 1,900 engagements. And here's the key. What we do with what I call marketing is we are able to optimize our campaign by these engagements. Most businesses, most people that run social media ads run their advertising and they just run it and it optimizes itself. The problem with optimizing itself is sometimes the wrong people, they engage by liking a post. They don't comment or click the link and take the action. They just generically like it. Well, you know what? We don't want to optimize off of people that like a post. We want to optimize off of people who are doing what we want. And this attention that we're getting for businesses is the best possible attention, because what's happening with these engagements, these 1,900 engagements led to this database up top. You see 1,129, of which 995 gave us their phone number also, and 811 gave us their birthday also. But what's happening is we're getting people to engage in an ad via comment or link, then into Messenger to answer 7 questions. And when they, not even 7 questions, to take 7 actions, I apologize, answer basically 3 questions, their email, their birthday, and their phone. And then we're delivering a promotion to them. Now, here's where it comes down to what we are known for, is that this attention right here is unbelievable. That if you're a small business and in the last, let's just say this is going to be 2 months spend, for 2 months, you get 1,900 engagements, a reach of 63,000, and impressions of 67,000. That's going to help your business move the needle down the road. No, it might not make you millions of dollars today, but if you consistently do this on any advertising medium, you're going to grow your business. The next level to that is the fact that it grew a database that you own for down the road. But what happens with what we do is we help clients get sales from this program, because like I said earlier, I had a client that said, I want proof. Yes, Matt, you grew me a Facebook page of 39,000 fans. You grew us an email list of 18,000 people. I don't really care because I don't have any proof they're coming in. I'm like, well, why would they join the list? Why would they follow us if they're not going to come in? I don't care. Prove it. I can't deposit likes. So I said, okay. And we proved it. In this case, you can see the proof is in the pudding. 15% of the people up here, 15% of this database, 208 people, have walked in and spent $10,715.83. So 208 people, 15% have spent 10 grand in about 6 weeks. Their average check's $51. This is a casual dining restaurant, so a little higher check than normal. So those sales are great, but this is what everybody looks at. But here's the great part about what we do, and here's the problem with this is, one, if you always look at the sales, if you've got a $5 average check at 208 redemptions, now you got 1,000 sales. Well, you're never going to be happy with a $1,900 spend on $1,000 sales. This client, of course, is happy. He's got a 5-to-1 ROI right on the front end. But that's not the goal. The goal is to recoup the advertising aspect of this. So in this case, this client's advertising is right around $500 to $600 of this whole thing. And so if that $500 to $600 gets 1,000 or 2,000 back on the front end, guess what? You've got your money back to spend next month. And that's the goal, is how can we kind of get your advertising for free and pay up and do our job and be that. So what happens is we get you great attention, and your ads are constantly optimized by these people. So your ads aren't optimized by, hey, Facebook, I got an ad in front of 63,000 people. Anybody that likes the post, optimize. That's what they do. Our ads are optimized off of engagement, off of opting in, off of visiting and spending money. So now we're constantly finding the right people. Now let's talk about the database. We were one of the first agencies in the world to do what we do with creating a database from this type of marketing. You can see this exact spend down here, which would traditionally just get you reach, exposure, engagements, and impressions, now gets you that and a database. You have 1,100 emails, 995 phones, and 811 birthdays. And for a restaurant like this to get 811 birthdays, they will get a very high redemption rate on that birthday. And those clients will walk in the restaurant and spend money. The next part of what we do, if I go back to what we do, is we talked about attention. We talked about the database. We talked about the sales. But let's talk about the customer info, because you can see here one of the key elements of this client is that we're able to tell him, look, yes, you're right. 54% of the people that we reached with the marketing, which is going to happen early on. Early on, we're going to reach more of your top fans through organic. They're going to be the ones that want to participate the most. So yes, 5,800 of this 10,000 came from people who are frequent customers. They filled out a survey after they redeemed. They told us they were frequent customers. But you know what? 27% told us they hadn't been in a while. They rarely came. They were lost. 18% told us they were brand new. So if you look at this, we're at 45% new customers. 40, well, I guess, do my math there? Yeah, 45% of new or lost customers. So basically 50-50. But when I talk about that data, is that our goal is how do we get more information on these clients? And so when we look at this from this customer's database, I already showed you the numbers up top here. Down here, we can look and see the gender, that 25% are male and 74% are female that have entered this program. That 75% don't have kids, that 26% do. That down here, we can see if they eat alone, if they come with their wife, if they're family, friends. We can see their frequency down here. Frequent, lost, new. We can over here, two of the things that will populate soon with this client is the time of day on this dashboard of when people are dining, and also the proximity. Do they live or work near the restaurant? So if I go back to this now, you've taken your attention, you've grown a database, you've used that database to drive sales to recoup some of your front end, and then you've now got a strong idea of who your customer is. And last but not least, you can market to them long term. You can send emails, you can send text messages, you can market on their birthday, you can retarget them. You can take all of this awareness right here that drove that database, and you can sell to them. You can get them to come in the restaurant. You can get them the business. You know, when I look at the sales information from this client, we can look and see what happened. You know, yesterday they had 23 opt-ins for a $9.78 Facebook spend. They had 8 redemptions, $481 in sales, average check is $60. Our return on ad spend, this far right column, 49 to 1. So 49 to 1 ROI on this $10. And if I go down here, you can see 7 days. They've spent $61 on ads. They've gotten 153 opt-ins, 35 redemptions, $2,000 in sales. Month to date, 10,000. You know, you can see this is just right out of month because you can see I only got 20 redemptions more. So that means this started, actually, I was wrong. I thought it was 6 weeks ago. It started almost right. Looks like a day later. So almost 4 weeks and a day or two based on this. So we can look and see the data that we have, the sales that have come from that. But a cool thing down here too is acquisition cost. We know that every time we spend $9 for this client, we gain a person in the program, an engagement on the ad, and somebody to walk in the restaurant and spend $51 one time. Now they own that information. We don't have to spend that $983 again because we already have that client. Now I want to show you the last part, and this is pretty cool because we just started doing this with clients, and this is the first one to have it. Was part of our program is when we launch our program, one of the best things we can do to grow the program correctly is to get their current database and market to them to get them in this VIP program. And some clients say, Matt, it's a bad idea. I already have these customers. I don't necessarily know that we need to hit them again because I already have their email. Well, we don't have their cell phone. We don't have their birthday in most cases. We don't have their social media engagement. We don't have data on them personally. We just have maybe some generic information. And I let them know, you know what? Those are your brand ambassadors. Number one, you want to reward your best customers because that's what keeps them loyal long term. But number two, the outcome depends on them getting involved because it helps Facebook find the right people. You want more people like your current customers. And number three, not everybody that comes in is going to be your current customers because that's the thought process a lot of times. Well, if we look at this, you can see down here that of the opt-ins, 980 of our current opt-ins are new. 349 were from the previous database he gave us. So what is that, 25%, 26% up here in the top left, 26.3. If I look at the redemptions, yes, we're going to have a higher percentage of redemptions based on that because the people are loyal customers. So you can look at the new people, 102 redemptions. So it's about a 10% redemption rate on new to the database. But you got 94 of 349. So you got probably, what is that, close to 30%, 40%? 35% probably. And you can see the sales. So yeah, we did attract previous subscribers. We did attract them to spend, but we got a lot of them new people as well. So to summarize this whole thing, the reason I wanted to do this video is that when I look at our dashboard, we've done a bad job of branding to our customers that they should be hiring us to help them drive sales. That's what I've always talked about. I don't give enough credit to the other elements. But like I was telling a client the other day, he's been in the past spent $3,000 a month in radio advertising. And when he looked at our program, he had an inclination to cancel it, even though the program was crushing it for the restaurant. I mean, I'm talking mega crushing it. If I showed you the stats, it would blow away what I just showed. but they're switching to something else for their in-store redemption sales. And his comment was, in his mind was, okay, well, you're the company we use to drive these in-store redemptions. We have a solution we think fits our brand better with regards to it ties to our point of sale and some other elements. And I said, okay, well, what about the advertising? Have you ever seen this big of a bang for the buck on the advertising that you're getting? And the answer is no. And so I let them know that, we don't have to be a one-trick pony. You don't have to only rely on us for the sales aspect. We do a lot of things for clients. And if some clients of ours say, Matt, we want to hire you to help us get attention to build a database, and then we'll take the database and go from there, awesome. Our value is huge. If they say we want to hire you to get us attention and drive that attention to our current loyalty program where we know we'll get sales and we'll get data there, great. If it's a company that says, hey, we want to hire you to get our attention, to drive the database, to drive those front-end sales, and after the front-end sales, drive them to our loyalty program because we have a bunch of clients doing that, great. Or maybe it's a client that wants us to do it all. They want us to get the attention, build the database, drive the sales, get the customer data, and then have meaningful conversations with their customers via text, email, retargeting 10 years down the road from now. Awesome too. We can do all of that. But what I want people to realize, even our current clients, is that what they're paying us for is spread many places. So if a company spends $1,000 a month with our company via the ads we place and the marketing that we do on their behalf, that $1,000 shouldn't be just weighted to sales. Shouldn't just be weighted to the database gaining. Shouldn't be weighted to the database data gain. Shouldn't be weighted to the attention. Shouldn't be weighted to the it should be spread across everything. That if you really looked at it, you could probably honestly put about $200 on each one of those and say, okay, we spent $1,000. Would we have gotten a better return if we spent $200 on our own ads on attention? I can promise you can't touch us. Nobody can. We do an unbelievable job. My team is amazing at it. Ashley, who heads up the attention aspect of it, does an amazing job. And could you take that same $200 and turn it into a database? Well, I can tell you that the answer without a doubt is no, because we deal with every restaurant we deal with. None of them do this well. None of the loyalty programs do this well. None of the in-store marketing programs do it well long-term. And then none of them do a great job of, one, taking that database and saying, hey, they're spending money. That was the whole reason this program was built, was proving that our attention-getting tactics were building the right database. Well, after that customer data, yeah, there's a lot of things out there that can get customer data for you. If you're using a loyalty program, if you're using like something tied with your point of sale with the credit card, there's a lot of different ways to skin that cat. So I'm not going to dispute that. There's a lot of them out there. And then long-term, the ability to nurture. A lot of you do a great job with email, texting, very many, hardly any do anything with Messenger. And then retargeting is a very, very, very big element, because I want you to imagine if you're sitting here a year from now and COVID comes back, something like COVID comes back, some other economic downturn. If you had the ability to have conversations on Monday via text or retargeting on Facebook and Instagram to the women with kids whose kids were home from school and could come by for lunch or get a to-go order or takeout, the ones that had been in your restaurant, that had redeemed multiple offers, that had come in and redeemed a birthday offer, you name it. The more information you have to target and nurture people, the better. The problem is most people are just doing shotgun approach advertising. And because they go on Facebook and they go, I'm going to do a boost to my fans of my page and the people who look like them, that's not targeted people. That's still shotgun. It's just Facebook's way of being shotgun. So appreciate you hanging out. If you watch this whole video, I appreciate you tuning in. 25 minutes. My goal was 10, but I got it in 25. So maybe I went a little long-winded. But again, attention, database, sales, customer data, ability to nurture. Like I said, the only thing we're missing on this entire dashboard is we're working on down the road this ability to nurture, of having a tab on here that shows the email, the text, the email open rates, the click-through rates, the text open rates, or not even open, but click rates, the messenger numbers. I looked at a client's numbers the other day, and they're averaging 11,000 impressions a month in Messenger, which means they're getting somewhere in the neighborhood of another 20 to 30,000 via text and email and retargeting. We're reaching a lot of people on their behalf. So that's what we got. That's what we're talking about. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you around, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions, if you're not a client, you're watching this, and you want to have a conversation, hit me up, matt@mattflap.com. You can go to roiexperts.net and schedule an appointment, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Yep.